If you only engage with human design on a mental level, nothing transforms. Human design is a transformational device. It gives us a means to recognize precisely what we gave ourselves for this lifetime and how to live our life to the fullest extent. It gives us the means to recognize the workings of our mind, whether we are logically inclined or not so much, whether we have a mind that works through ideas or insights, whether we are open-minded in ways that might leave us a bit spacey, but also highly capable of resolving issues that for other people are almost impossible to unscramble. It gives us the means to know when to speak and when to hold our peace. It informs us whether what we say is authentic, meaningful, insightful, transformational, or just chit-chat, parroting, and a means to fill silence with borrowed concepts. Human design provides sensations around our life direction and our life purpose, to let us know if we're on the right track or deviating because of what we've been told to think or believe, whether we're persuaded to consider it more appropriate to be reactive or maybe politically correct or even immobilized because we've forgotten how to be in alignment with what is truthful and resonant for us as a unique individual. Human design outlines our fears, real and imagined. Fears involve all kinds of potential issues, from a fear of appearing incompetent, unsophisticated and naive, to fears of being overtaken by events or illness. When we look closely, all fears can ultimately be traced to a fear of death, because we've forgotten what is on the other side of the veil, and we've forgotten until we remember again, either before or when we die. Human design can show us what has value for us as individuals. It gives us inner access to knowing someone or something's worth to us, whether it is in our interest to pursue, regardless of advertising, social pressures and finance. It shows us when and how to access our energy, and when to stay put and rest for real opportunities. It delves into the mysteries of our relationships and shows us how our life partners dance energetically with us, how our children relate best to us when we acknowledge who they really are and not who we think they are. It opens up the whole realm of cooperative interactions in school and businesses, when everyone knows their design and respects the designs of others. It shows us how to stay in step, in rhythm, in the rhythm of our own life. Human design shows us how to access our energy and who and what really merits our attentions and engagement. It gives us access to recognize the movements of our emotions, to be able to recognize if a feeling is being sourced within us, or whether it is something that has been triggered in reaction to someone or something else. And here is my complication with human design. The person to whom human design was given, called Ra, Robert Allen, had no idea what he'd been given. In the 7 years that I spent doing his classes, twice a year on average, also hosting him twice and setting up trainings and readings for him whenever he was desperately short of money, driving him around to meet various appointments and flights, I can say I spent a lot of time in his company. Now, I fully appreciate that the experience Ra had downloading human design fried his nervous system. I know perfectly well that I would not have survived such an experience, and I'm immensely grateful to Ra for downloading and delivering human design to the world, albeit in a regurgitated manner which has taken Carola, myself, and a few others years to decipher. Ra had no background or resource in understanding the workings of the human body. He was literally terrified of emotions, had no background in spirituality, and yet was very clever with his mind. He had been trained in physics before becoming a documentary filmmaker and newspaper advertising salesman, of which he gleefully used to tell us that he would sell easily more pages of advertising than there were pages in the newspaper. Ra was only able to deliver human design on a mental level, as a constant stream of knowledge. And the unfortunate thing about delivering anything on a mental level is that it is rarely transformational. It is brilliant, but that's about as far as it goes. Ra could not see life beyond a mechanical setup. Hence, he was satisfied with promoting the mechanics of the Maya, body graph, rave cartography, verbal gunslinger, the incompetent, terminal disease, and other weird descriptions for this mystery of life. And the way in which human design has been taught through the entities that were set up around Ra remains, unfortunately, mental. I hear all the time parroted explanations of what human design is, dry and lifeless. Brilliant, but for the most part lifeless, and with no trace of love, or any real lasting potential for personal transformation. To truly comprehend human design, anyone who reads it has to get inside it, has to feel it in their marrow, has to know it on a deep level, and then has to know how to relay and transmit this profound knowledge in a way that brings an opening into someone else's consciousness, in a way that triggers their knowing. And this is not something that happens because you've taken a bunch of classes. Here lies the quintessential dilemma for all people, especially in the transfer that takes place through human design. Do we go along with beliefs that relate to past experiences, often handed down and rearranged over thousands of years of traditions, histories, and temporary advancements in comprehending life? A large part of Ra's interpretation of human design goes along with his beliefs about a labelled and mechanical life. Do we go along with knowledge that again has been compiled from all kinds of viewpoints that aims humanity, often through wishful thinking, towards some kind of a safe future? Again, the knowledge contained in Ra's interpretation of human design is profound, but it is just a mass of information. Or do we have the insight to follow our own knowing, of what we know to be true to ourselves, regardless of anyone or anything? Beliefs, knowledge, or knowing? Meditation is the key. Having lived in the company of the enlightened mystic Osho for many years, several spent in his library, in my writing of the Book of Lines, published as the second of my human design trilogy, and which incidentally took 17 years to complete, I wrote each of the 384 lines relating to human design so that they could be koans, sutras, or small sentences or phrases that gave themselves to meditation and contemplation, opening the doorway to personal knowing. In committing myself to human design for nearly 25 years, continuously, I've watched my comprehension move from a purely mental level to a more embodied and empathic level. In the readings and trainings I give, my insistence is that my clients have an experience of who they are, even if it comes in glimpses and brief insights, but which gives them exposure, clarification, and empowerment to know the unique presence they are for this lifetime. I encourage everyone to know their human design, to go into it and find their essence, so that they can live in the most profound and fulfilling way possible. Engaged in the right way, human design is an extraordinarily powerful, self-remembering device. Thank you.